guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd. I have a Halloween layout today, and I'm using my stash. So I have this spiderweb like chipboard border that I want to use. The word Spider-Man I made on my Cricut, that wood spider, this scrap of paper, and then I have this like cutout. It's very thin. I don't know where I got it from, but it's very, very thin paper, and so it needs to be mounted on a cardstock, otherwise it would just fall apart. I was even afraid that I was going to rip it as I was even trying to glue it down. So I'm going to take this gray paper and glue this spider web on top of it. And I glued it. I didn't glue it all over because I'm going to be stitching the spider web. And so with this border, I wanted it to go across, but it's a little bit shorter than 12 by 12. And so I'm going to have to trim down the sides a little bit. And I had this scrap of red spider paper, and I don't even know where that came from or how long I've had that. So I got that all glued on top there, and then here's where I'm going to trim the sides so that that chipboard border goes across the page, and then I'll back it the whole layout with a dark blue. So I was even afraid to use my trimmer to cut because I'm telling you that paper was so thin, and I don't know where it came from, and I have a purple one as well. So then I stitched all the spider web in a chain stitch, and I slow it down here. Hopefully you can see it. I did black on black. It just adds a fun texture, and I thought it would look more like a spider web if it had that little bit of texture to it. And that took me a couple days. Like, the layout went together pretty quick after the stitching was done. So I'm going to ink the edges around the red part because that paper is white, and so the core was showing. And so see, I'm gonna back it on this blue cardstock so it'll have kind of a thin blue outline. And I didn't gut the blue cardstock because I wanted it to cover all of my stitching and just to make it easier to put in and out of the scrapbook. So here I'm getting that border glued down, so see, it reaches across there, much nicer. I don't know where those borders came from either, and it was strange that it wasn't a true 12 by 12, but it's pretty old. So these are pictures of my husband. He was Spider-Man for Halloween, and that wood spider was painted gray already, and it blended in with the background, so I wanted to paint it red. So this is just some deco art paint in fire pit color. So I'm just painting over that silver, and I'm doing like a light painting so that it's not a bright red and some of that silver still kind of shows through. So while that dries, I'm going to work on my photos, and I was going to matte just in blue, but then I did a thin matte of black and then another matte of blue around that, and that blue is the same blue that I used to make the title on the Cricut. And so that just kind of helps those photos pop off the background. And then because of all the stitching, it's a little uneven, so I wanted to pop up the photos, and it helps even them out there. And then that way that one can kind of hang over the chipboard border. And so with the title, I just found a free image of Spider-Man and then put it into the Cricut and cut it out and backed it. So, and see, now that spider looks so much better. It stands out a lot more against the background that's red. And then I had this little card that said spooky in the stash, so I was like, well, that'll work perfect. So the title is Spooky Spider-Man. And just adding, there's really not much embellishments to this page because I think the stitching did so much for it. So just a little arrow there, the spider up in the corner. And so I'm using my acrylic block to hold down that spider so it really gets glued down there. And then this is just a little tiny circle that says 31, just to show that, you know, it's a Halloween layout. But that's the layout. It's a very short layout. today. Thank you to everyone that subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the button down below. And everyone have a great day. I do have a close-up of the, here it is, of the chain stitching there on the layout. Like I said, that took me a couple days. But again, thanks everyone for watching. Bye.